All right.
I'm Spencer.
I'm Eric.
And I'm still pissed.
And this is the Itch Podcast.
Episode 6.
God, I can't believe we made it to 6 already.
I know.
What a number.
We can count.
Yeah.
Can we
had
though?
1, then we had 2, and then now we're at 6. This is
Yeah,
crazy.
1, 2, 6.
That's how it works.
So the Itch Podcast, where we all get together and ask each other questions with a time limit of 15 minutes. Maximum for each topic. Let's get started. Justin, what are you playing?
Okay, so I got some time in with Rocket League. Having a lot of fun with that. I definitely got trashed last night playing it. I was like, you motherfucker. Obviously,
Brings out the worst.
I'm always on Final Fantasy. I'm doing a lot more Devil May Cry, and I'm playing Bloodborne. I'm doing a new build on Bloodborne, and I'm playing a no-level Milk Toast in honor of Epic Name Bro.
What's that about?
What Milk Toast?
In honor of
Epic Name Bros. He's a big guy in the Souls community.
Yeah.
He's a really cool dude. He'll come on and he'll talk about like lore and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's lately been doing these things called Wreckfist. And he'll be like, Wreckfist is served. And he's like, Milk Toast is the actual character build in Bloodborne. And you just play that, but he's doing a no-death run. Or a permadeath run. So if he dies, he
Starts
deletes the
over.
character.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And you can really tell he's like, oh my god. So.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, what are you playing? What
I
are you playing?
I haven't played all that much this week. I did end up going. This is probably one of the nerdiest things I've ever done. I went to a LAN party.
Well, no, that's cool. What are you talking about?
You don't want to know
No.
what I did on Wednesday.
It was actually a lot of fun. I picked up my desktop, went over to Leo's house, and played some games with Lindsay and Leo.
I didn't get the invite.
Played some World of
Yeah,
Warcraft.
it's weird. I was that night. I was looking at my phone. I was like, man, I wish somebody would invite me to do something, and it was just absolutely silent. The phone
Was that the day where you and I were playing Commando?
might have been.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I didn't get an invite to that, assholes.
Oh, well, you didn't even respond. It was in the group text.
Anyway,
Didn't
fair
want to
enough.
blow your minds. You didn't respond.
Yeah.
Maybe I was too busy with my other. Well, actually, we're not even friends.
Yeah.
We're not even friends.
Okay,
Mm.
I'm done.
Oh.
No, yeah, so I was playing World of Warcraft with Leo and Lindsay. We had a very nice time doing some pay repair and did some LFR. And I just have to say, World of Warcraft's in a very sad state right now, mechanic-wise and story-wise.
I thought it was, what's it called? Because their subscribers, they dropped a lot, right?
They went to
Well,
5.5 million.
As long as I-
6.
I don't actually play with all those people, though. Like, I play with my group of friends, and that's it. Like,
You don't play with all 5 million?
No.
God damn.
There's too many. I'll get an STD or something.
That's true.
But yeah, so I've been...
You're not doing it right. Right.
Yeah, so I've been playing
Shit's
World of Warcraft and just playing with my group of friends doing PvP and whatnot. So
That's
Cool.
cool.
yeah, Spencer, what have you been doing? What have you been playing?
Played a little Bastion, little game.
Little game.
I've been
Maybe
wanting to
heard.
try that.
Played King's Quest. We just did a review of the first episode. We'll be on later this week.
Or if you're watching this on YouTube, it'll already been out.
That's right. Time sensitive.
Oh, yes.
That's pretty much it. I haven't played a lot of League of Legends lately because I'm waiting for my computer to get updated because I'm having
Windows 10.
a couple issues with that. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh, you want to do a review on it? Or
I do. I want to
I
talk
could
about
talk
Windows 10.
extensively about it. I mean, clearly.
And that's about it. I played a couple other games that I've mentioned before, so skip that. And that's pretty much it.
Woo!
So who wants to go started with the first question?
I'll get started. Mine's is pretty.
Okay.
relatively
It's
easy.
pretty. Well, I want to date it.
It's pretty like it.
Want me
Will
to
you
do-
let me
want me to
date
do
it?
the timer?
I am ready. And yes, you can date it.
All right.
All right.
Wine and dine.
So it's a simple question. You know, I was perusing because just an FYI,
see it.
all of my questions are going to come pre-packed with the story. So just bear with me.
Fair enough.
And
Okay.
usually they come packed with the story because
Last week
it's
was
not
Roger
that long
Ebert.
of a.
Yeah.
Right. Well, it was relevant, but in this one, you know, I was just perusing my phone. It's like flipping through, listening to some.
A few moments later.
You know, I heard some game music. I was like, huh, I really don't like this album. But I had this song. And then I was like, what good game music do I have? And then I thought about it. I was like, what good game music can I say in general is just good? What is my favorite soundtrack
To a video game.
to a video game?
Okay.
Rules are, it can't be something like, we just got done talking about Twisted Metal 3, for instance. It can't have real music as part of the album. It actually has to be original.
So it can't be like Madden where they pull in like
Yeah.
twist.
Because then I would have said like NFL Street.
Yeah, because
Or
it's all
indie-ish
music that
one,
you would
too.
go on iTunes and purchase.
Yeah.
From an actual artist, like a mainstream artist. We're talking like composers.
Yeah, we're talking straight up OST.
Okay.
So, so right off the bat, I feel bad now
Why?
because I just thought of the one that beats the one I just had. in my head. So who's played Scott Pilgrim?
Me.
Nope.
Do you remember the soundtrack in that game?
No. But I do know that the composer of the movie is Beck.
The soundtrack for the Scott Pilgrim game is completely done by Amanaguchi, and he's essentially like a I forget the form that they use. It's like bit like music, like beep 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 beep, beep, you know.
Mm.
And I in my head driving up here, I was like, that's totally what I'm gonna go with. But you know what beats that?
What?
Nay, conquers that.
Conquer.
You're gonna call me a fanboy.
I already
Sonic
do.
3.
Sonic 3. Okay.
And Knuckles. And Knuckles. Reason why is 'cause, and you admit it too, they have some really nice songs.
Sure.
For Sonic. They're some of the best, most creative songs.
You could argue that for Sega, their best work was done on the sound design of everything because they did not have anything going for them as far as gameplay, graphics,
Blast
any of that
core
stuff.
processing. Oh, I was supposed to show you the video of that.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
there's no
Okay,
video.
let's try
of
and
it.
remember.
That's
Let's try
the
and
real
remember.
thing.
But regardless, yeah. You're probably right because Streets of Rage was pretty fucking awesome too. But yeah, Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I remember a lot of the songs specifically. Like if I'm going based off the just like hearing it, I'll be like, oh, that's
The lava level.
yeah, right. Or I'll be like, oh, that's freaking Mushroom Hill Zone or whatever the case is. So to me, that's probably the one that rings most constant in my head as something that's like legitimately top notch gameplay or game soundtrack.
Okay.
What about you guys?
This one is an obvious choice.
I
There
think
is
I'm not.
there is no question about
No
it.
trigger.
Chrono Cross.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that was
I
close.
knew he was gonna say it.
It was Yatsuri Mitsuda?
I'm not sure.
I think that's it's. If it's not, that's very close to his name.
I have to say, since doing this show, I'm proud of you.
I'm
Be a
working
little
on
more-
my Asian accents.
Yes.
I still have Pearl Harbor in the back of my head as a
Right.
bit of a grudge,
The
but I'm
bastards.
trying to get past it.
I'm doing my best.
The Chrono Cross soundtrack is so good.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say every single song is completely memorable, but the ones that are, there's a good amount of them in there, and they're all beautiful. Especially the title track, the one
Time Scar.
Time Scar,
Yeah.
is where you're introduced to the game, and it's got the video of them, all the characters and stuff, and the song that it plays. I would listen to that song like running home from school every day, literally, just put it in my headphones and just go and just run.
Wait, you'd run?
Yeah.
Wouldn't your CD skip?
He had the anti-skip going.
Yeah, I got anti-skip.
He was draining batteries like crazy.
Oh man.
We were wealthy.
Oh.
But no, it was fantastic. That is good. It has the Radical Dreamers song on it,
Yes.
which is all in Asian. I never bothered to even look up the lyrics, but it is still beautiful.
Yeah. It's like a gateway song.
Yeah,
to
right.
listen
right.
to like J-pop or something.
Yeah. I'm almost at the J-pop stage listening to that.
Oh, death metal baby.
It had some rock in it.
Oh, I
That
gotta
rock
show-
song that they
I gotta show you
had
guys
for the SS Zeldas, I think it was. They had like a little rock song that the rock stars were playing. It was freaking good too.
Oh, you mean like Nikki?
Yeah, Nicky and his
Yeah.
crew. They played a song there and they actually got the guitar going. It is gorgeous. So everything about that game, the music is really what made it in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
It was what made it so mysterious and beautiful. So
Yeah.
definitely Chrono Cross. All right,
So
what's yours,
for,
Eric?
for me,
Huh?
mine would be Shining Force 2.
Hmm.
And I don't pay too close attention to soundtracks, in all honesty. I enjoy them, but I don't go hunting them down trying to figure out who composed them or whatnot.
I bought this Chrono Cross soundtrack. Throwing that out there.
Yeah, I tried to go purchase the Shining Force one earlier when we started this show. A year ago, I tried to go purchase it, but I couldn't find anywhere to buy it from. So I found websites that were like, hey, here's the music, support it.
Gotcha.
So I do have the whole soundtrack, and I actually found dubstep versions of the soundtracks where it has the actual beats and stuff into it, and I find myself like,
Getting into it.
yeah, just like
You're like,
I'll
yeah,
wake up and I'm like, you know what, I need that song right now.
It does need some dubstep.
I so, and I actually just learned something because I was looking up. I was basically going like, you know what, I need to know the composer of this.
Steps
and-
to your jerk. Anyway, keep going.
Motoaki Takenushi. Takanushi.
You just got schooled by me on Japanese
High
pronunciation.
fives. Woo!
Nice.
American.
I'm all grown
Well,
up.
I can pronounce his also known as
What?
DJ Take. Or DJ
DJ
Taki.
Take.
Take.
Oh.
Dang it, I screwed that one up
Still
too.
messed it up.
No good, man. No good.
DJ Taki. Yeah, so he composed a bunch of this stuff, and I learned this just now as I was looking through my phone. I'm going to check this guy out and see what I can do. He composed Shining Force 2, Shining Force CD. Ew.
Yeah, kind of one of those Sega losers.
He did
what it
stuff
sounds
for
like.
Enix, Sega,
losers?
Climax
Enix,
Entertainment,
huh?
and Game Arts.
Yeah.
He's a Japanese composer, honestly. But yeah,
Cool.
that would be mine. Shining Force 2.
Yeah, man.
Props to Chrono Trigger. Also has a good soundtrack. Although I wouldn't say I like it as much as Chrono Cross,
Yeah.
but it's still very good. And that one he actually worked with the normal sound guy, who was for Final Fantasy.
Tetsuya Nomura?
Yeah.
Wait, no.
Or
That's not-
Nobuo Uematsu.
Tetsuya
Is it
Nomura's
Nobuo Uematsu?
Uematsu.
Yeah. He worked with him, and Nobuo was kind of the main guy, and Yatsura was allowed to just kind of explore a little bit.
Yeah.
And so that one's also gorgeous.
Yeah.
Any of the Final Fantasies usually have pretty amazing soundtracks.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy, I really like Nines, although a lot of people say that was when he started backing off a lot.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
But I liked Nines. I thought it was good.
Um,
And Dragon Quest in general has a really good one too.
Is that still Nobuo Uematsu
No.
doing? Oh, he's not doing it. I figured they would have at least had him do like a song. or something.
No, because they kept what it used to be. A lot of
Oh,
what
yeah.
it used to be, and that was Enix, so he wasn't part of that
Yeah.
back then.
Well, going on to Final Fantasy, I would say I mentioned it in the review that Final Fantasy 14's music wasn't all that good. I actually found out why. Nobuo Uematsu composed it based off of screenshots and a lot of just like sketches and stuff like that, which is
Yeah.
still pretty impressive.
Mhm.
But it's easy to see why the disconnect was there.
Yeah.
So when you're playing in, the expansion and stuff like that, and you're actually running through it, and it's easy to see the game sync up with the environment sync up with the music.
Ooh,
Um,
Metal Gear Solid,
which one though?
all of them.
I honestly, I think every time they do a new song, like the main song for it, they're all good.
3.
Three's amazing just for being James Bondy.
Yeah.
But I still have a soft spot in my heart for Sins of Our Fathers.
Is
Which
that
is
4?
5.
That was 5? Oh, the new
So
one.
with Donna Burke, who I also found out. You guys play Silent Hill 2?
No.
No. Do you understand anything about it?
Do you understand anything, damn it?
Do you I didn't say that. Was the voice actor
tone.
for Maria.
Oh,
as well,
okay.
which is interesting. And she's a great singer, as you can tell by the song. But yeah, regardless. Anyway.
Ooh, Earthbound.
Oh, God. Of course.
Earthbound had a very vibrant soundtrack. It was huge. Had tons of music. Earthbound, though. And Mother 3 as well, which I'm not allowed to talk about because I never played it. Because it never came to America, because I never downloaded the ROM and
played
put an
the emulator.
English subtitle on it.
We're gonna get kicked off the internet.
Never did that before. But I hear it's really good.
Too.
I do have to say, out of all the games you guys mentioned, I have, as soon as you guys mentioned the names, there's one game specifically that I now have the soundtrack stuck in my head as we're playing.
I don't know what that is. What is that? I've never heard of it.
Yeah, what is that? Is that a Sega game?
Oh, it's Dark Souls. It's a Dark Souls soundtrack.
Is that Dark Souls?
No. Wait, yeah.
What game is that, dude?
Pac-Man. It's Pac-Man. It's an iconic character. It's Pac-Man.
It's Sonic.
Oh, Sonic?
course
Yeah,
it's
no
Sonic.
wonder I didn't know. I've never played,
What?
You never played any of them?
I've played a little bit of Sonic.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, you can't be hating on Sonic.
When you've played Mario all your life, you don't go back to Sonic. You don't take a step backwards
Really?
like that. Yeah.
All right.
This
I
is
don't need
his
to go
last
fast.
time
I just need
hosting.
good level design. That's all I require. All right, we good here?
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
Next topic.
Mine is going to be next. Mine. My question.
He's like a lead singer in a band.
Yeah, man.
It's my turn to be in the front.
Let's back up, Justin. He doesn't need us.
Yep. Backup vocals, go.
Yeah.
My
I'll
question.
be that chick from Destiny's Child. That,
Michelle?
My question will have to be
Eh,
when you have children, God forbid,
yeah.
What?
when
When I produce other greatness.
I produce more greatness, what video games are you going to make them play? Or are you going to at least show them?
So, okay. So, all right. I told you guys about Epic Name Bro, right? This cool dude. He just, his wife's Japanese. He just had a daughter. He's like, I'm not going to force her into gaming, but if she ever wants to look at gaming, he has a good mentality. He said, she's going to learn like how I did. She's going to play Mario. She's going to play Sonic, the first ones.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to, from there, we're going to figure out if she likes it or if she's not interested. If she's interested, we're going to keep going. You know, we'll go up and elevate it. I don't want to start them in a PlayStation 4 or 5 or whatever is out because then they're going to get spoiled. They're going to anticipate things given to them rather than appreciate where things started. So I looked at that, and you can consider it like music, like growing up. Like, I don't listen to the Beatles, but my kid's going to probably hear the Beatles just so they understand music.
Yeah.
They're going to hear old school hip hop. They're going to hear like LL Cool J or something like that to understand what's going on now.
Stepstay 99 says Mario 64 and Pong. Jimmy Spleen says Kingdom Hearts. Interesting choice.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, Kingdom Hearts isn't that bad if you, especially now, like you get a lot of kids.
You get a
hooked
kid,
on Disney.
you know, Disney and all that stuff.
Man, imagine if they're like, oh, like in the next one, because everyone, you guys heard Incredibles like 2, whatever. It's
Sure.
getting essentially greenlit and stuff. Imagine if they had a world about that. Everyone would go nuts, you know. Those select titles like Frozen, like they go nuts. So
I think they actually did say in Kingdom Hearts 3 they're doing Frozen.
How could they not, you know?
Yeah.
But it makes more sense to have, you know, a game like Kingdom Hearts. But I would say
Elsa
the
will
classics.
be the villain.
I would say the classics. I would start off right at the beginning and be like, all right, you know, which one are you more interested in? You know, this crappy thing or Blast Core process? but in all honesty, I'm going to start them off small and be like, oh,
I
yeah,
can just see, I can just see you teaching when there's a whiteboard and there's a whole bunch of weird like equations and everything surrounding it, and there's just a circle that says Blast Core processing. It just goes out from there.
That's what this needs. I'm going to it. But yeah, I'd probably say that.
Yeah.
Spencer? I would say Chrono Trigger gets an immediate play. I wouldn't
the very first game.
very first game they play is Chrono
Like
Trigger.
2 years old.
Yeah.
2 seconds.
Why can't you read?
I think that would be a little rough.
No.
For a first game.
I would want them to play that early, but I mean, I would start them off with like Pac-Man, things like that are basically just here's A, here's B, get to it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's get you hooked on that. I don't necessarily know if I would do Mario. I mean, I respect that people want to start their kids off with the classics and know where it came from, but at some point you have to say, like, we have so many better options. And I hate to say that. I know Mario, people are like, oh, it's Mario. But there are better options today.
Well,
there's better things to do.
as an addendum, I wouldn't just say like just Mario. I'd probably be like, what was it, Super Mario World 3 or something like that?
Sure.
Like the best of its thing. Like
Right,
they wouldn't
right.
play the first Sonic. They'd play Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
Right.
You know, that's
So,
kind of
yeah, there might be a version of Mario that's better, that they could more finely play it. And maybe Mario 64.
Zelda?
If I were going to go Mario 64, I'd make them play the DS version of it.
really.
Because the DS version is amazing. If
Really?
you got a chance. That's way better than the original 64 version.
Huh.
Zelda, yes. They would play A Link to the Past.
Okay, that makes sense.
They play A Link to the Past, and then if there's a better one than Ocarina of Time, that's good for new people, then I would make them play that. Right now, it'd be Ocarina of Time.
I'd probably have them play Wind Waker just because I'm like, hey, you're
Wind
a
Waker,
kid.
Wind Waker actually
like
is not
that.
a bad choice.
Yeah.
I do not like the sailing aspect of that game,
Nice.
but
Give and
the
take.
kid might like it. So,
Yeah, you know.
cool.
Adventure.
But definitely Chrono Trigger, and I would not let them play Earthbound until way later if they decided they like that route.
Yeah.
Because Earthbound has some very dark themes that I do not want to introduce them to yet.
Hey, ever heard about abortion?
Yeah. So that's me.
All right. For me, I would go the route of teaching them how to use a controller. Like I think nowadays, like handing a kid a PS4 controller, there's a lot of buttons. An Xbox controller, there's a lot of buttons, and it's quite a bit to handle. So I would start them off with a Mario game.
Hey, Sputters.
I would start them off with a Mario game or some kind of simple platformer. A, B, jump, duck, run. That's pretty much it. And then from there, like as they get more comfortable with the controller, you start adding controllers with more buttons.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of the disconnect for a lot of people, like that I've talked to, I've heard a lot of people say, "Well, I'm not good at games. I can't play shooters because it's just too fast paced and there's too much going on." Well, I think in anything you need to train. Like
Yeah.
you need to be taught how to use the tools that the game provides you. Once you understand the tools, you can then play more difficult things. It's
you get them hooked on Call of Duty, and then you start explaining who their parents are and how many times you fucked
And
them.
then they plan then they need to plan their play schedule around double experience weekends.
yeah.
She's like, that's your mom. That's their player's mom. You can kind of get a picture of it, and you fucked her.
Right.
Like that's
you don't know what fucking is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't
we can
matter.
talk about that.
Don't worry about that. I'll never teach you that.
Right. And if you ever use that language.
I
you
would,
know what? Sorry. to cut you
That's
off.
you know what? That's a good point. Minecraft or Terraria.
Every kid plays that. I took a teaching class, and 3 of the kids there were so into Minecraft. They were wearing the T-shirts every day. It blew my mind, and they're like in.
And that's
like
good for
4th grade.
spatial skills too.
Yeah, right. And organization stuff.
it's Legos.
And at the
true.
college I go to, they have a Minecraft modders class.
Wow.
Legitimate.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I support Minecraft. It was actually one of the games that I was going to recommend. Terraria, not so much. I didn't really care
It's
for
just
that
2D. I mean,
Yeah.
it's different strokes at the end of the day, but
Yeah. But so Mario, Minecraft was later on in the thing, but Pikmin was also one of the ones I wanted to recommend.
Pikmin's interesting.
Pikmin, for me, it would be a perfect kids game. It gives you the idea of problem solving and counting and all that kind of stuff.
That's true.
And exploring and kind of free open world and stuff. So if
Definitely more advanced though, right?
yeah, definitely it's more up there, and you have to learn controls and calling back things like calling the Pikmin back and stuff. So for me, yeah, it would be some kind of platformer that's very simple. So Mario or Sonic or Aladdin. No, Aladdin would be a little more advanced because that's actually you have to fight at the same time.
Agrabah.
Do not play the Sega. Wait, the Sega and the NES one, I think it's the same.
I think one of them is more combat oriented. I've
think
heard
it's
that.
the Sega one,
Yeah.
and it's just oh my god, it's such a hard game.
What I would say, make a little addendum, is what games we would not recommend.
Okay,
Metal Gear Solid, the first one.
it's too late. As a kid, I played it.
No. For us as a kid, it's fine.
Yeah,
Because
loved it.
we grew up with those graphics.
Mhm.
To somebody looking back at Metal Gear Solid 1 on the PlayStation,
Yeah.
ooh,
Yeah. you definitely have to.
that game, I would probably say let's play a little later Metal Gear Solid.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Because
I
it's
mean-
a good series, but not that game is just unplayable graphically.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's a good point to bring up. It has to hold up.
Yeah.
Has to hold up.
A lot of N64 games. Oof. Did not
Yeah.
age very
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
I mean, besides like the mainstays, you know,
Yeah,
your
yeah.
Ocarina of Times, your Star Foxes,
Mhm.
stuff where you're not really looking at a physical like person.
Yeah.
You know what you just made me realize? I'd probably do racing games too.
Yeah.
Like Mario Kart.
Mario Kart
well,
is safe bet.
No.
No. You're picking Mario Kart. He's picking Mario
I'm
Kart.
picking probably
Oh
like
my
Ridge
God.
Racer, like just straight up race.
Oh, probably one of the best racing games of all time. Besides, let's exclude Mario Kart. Is Need for Speed,
Pro
2,
Street?
Hot Pursuit.
Oh,
No, Pro Street.
I love
sucks.
Pro Street.
I hate it. They're like, oh, craft your tread. I'm like, the fuck? I don't care about the tread in my tires. Can I race? Like, whatever. But
Yeah, I mean, the kid obviously will learn his own style and learn what he likes,
Yeah.
and then he can go from there.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, I would not recommend, like I said, Metal Gear, but if he does like that and wants to learn about it, then
Yeah.
that's obviously his choice.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Eric. Sorry. You have something else?
No, I was thinking about other games I probably wouldn't, and I guess the things I wouldn't really recommend are games that at the time went for hyper realism in their graphics.
Yeah.
Because those never age well, and nobody ever understands that.
Because
Like when-
they're ironically trapped within their
yeah,
era.
they're trapped within the confines of their system, so it's always rough when you do that. Yeah,
'Cause it's-
Yeah, hide from Final Fantasy.
Kid.
I can see it. Yeah, they'll never get the new ones. It's like Final Fantasy isn't that the throwaway third-party game that keeps coming out every once in a while? Like, no, you haven't played 7, you haven't played 6. Okay, you cool with that?
Games that I wouldn't recommend for my kids. Most likely RPGs. As
Really?
much as I enjoy them, I would let them watch me play them, and if they decided to play them, sure. But they're not.
You know what I would do is Dragon Quest 8.
You would?
I would recommend that.
Huh.
Because that game will hold its age because it looks like a freaking cartoon. It
Yeah.
looks gorgeous.
Cell shading is
Cell
like
shading
a
is
cheat
a
code.
safe bet.
Yeah.
And it has, it's uncomplicated enough that anyone can really play it.
Mm-hmm.
But it is complicated enough to give you options to be like, okay, I want to tweak this and be more like this.
Mm-hmm.
I think that actually strikes a really good balance for a kid.
That makes sense.
That'd be my guess.
I forgot one of the ones I wanted to mention for recommend for
Way
a
to
kid.
go, Spencer.
The original Pokemon.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, Pokemon Red. Yeah, baby.
No, I would say yellow, actually. Just because having Pikachu.
Yeah, it's true. And it has more of
got
like
a
a
little
story
companion.
element to it.
Yeah, and then
That's
like
a safe bet.
if they like it enough and they start actually watching like the TV show, like I'd stop at a couple seasons,
Mm-hmm.
But if they're watching it and then they're like, oh hey, I've got Pikachu too, that level of like
Connection.
connection.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
Pokemon's actually a really good one, especially for RPGs.
Yeah,
That would be a
the
safe
gateway.
RPG.
Yeah, that's a gateway.
Because they get to play with like a little pigeon. Like,
Pidgey.
yeah, what kid doesn't want to play with a pigeon and
Or
a rat?
Rat-a-tat.
Yeah.
Rat-a-tat-tat.
Or my favorite, Psyduck.
Um,
Yeah, nobody else's. Fair enough.
I would probably say one of the first things is
Or
I'm
Tetris.
Yeah, that's actually a good one. I'm a big fan of creativity, obviously, but one of the first things I would look at is I would test my child's creativity. I'd want them to push it. So probably one of the first things
Real
I'd do
good.
is I'd probably say something like Sims
Okay.
to be like, okay,
Yeah.
but I would set their parameters. So I'd be like, okay, you're only in charge of 2 people.
Yeah.
Don't
And they're
make a
both
family.
men.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Don't make a family, don't adopt, don't get any kittens or horses or anything like that. And then I would also recommend like Little Big Planet.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you can make games out of that stuff if you really want to go with it. But at its most basic level is you're just going on an adventure. And even if you're not the one creating the stuff,
Yeah.
you can download other people's stuff off the internet, play their games,
And you have, what if you had like the most uncreative child? And he's just playing there and he's like, I just want to shoot shit, Dad. Like, dude, is Madden coming out? When's it going to hit?
I think that'd probably be a nightmare for
Yeah,
me.
I'm just like, no.
Being a game designer and I'm like working for this crazy like super indie,
Yeah, yeah.
like we're setting all these trends and then he's like, when's Madden?
Yeah. Like, Dad, why don't you just throw a fucking football every once in a while?
Right? Can we play catch?
Yeah.
Not digitally.
Yeah.
I'd probably recommend. I would recommend Street Fighter, or actually no, I'd recommend Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter. There's a simple mode. So you set one buttons, so it looks like they're doing like crazy buttons and combos. It's a little fast, but you got to start them off hardcore to keep them hardcore. And then my
Is that a rule?
that's the way I see it. Like if I didn't play Marvel vs. Capcom like 2 or whatever, I probably wouldn't have been into like faster style like even like Guilty Gear, which is
Crash
not even as
Bandicoot.
fast. Crash Bandicoot's very good.
I don't know.
My
The second one, I'd say.
but my last one, if I didn't have a creative child, I actually would recommend Halo. Halo 1, and here's why. Hey,
2.
okay, yeah, but for a continuity standpoint, I would recommend 1 first.
Eric's done. He's out of here.
Get mad.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
Sorry.
Terraway? You mean Terraria?
No, Tearaway.
Tearaway.
It's a side scroller.
Oh, no. But I would recommend Halo just because it's at its core is just a simple shooter. It's not complicated like a lot of like Call of Duty games and stuff like that. Like if they wanted to get into a shooter, I would recommend that just because it's so simple enough. You play through the story. There's a level of cooperative play. There's even an adventure feel to it, or some. No, I wouldn't recommend Borderlands. Something simple.
Team Fortress.
Team Fortress 2, yes, I would recommend, but that's dependent on if the community's still alive.
Yeah, I'd be cautionary. Multiplayer is a cautionary tale.
It very much.
Yeah.
If the
Yeah.
kid is there.
That's
That's another
actually
topic.
Exactly. Let's get to another topic. Parents, quit! Don't let your kids online.
Yeah, please don't. Please don't.
At least until they understand what the words mean.
Especially if that little shit's good. Like if he's good at first-person shooters, keep him offline because it just makes me feel sad.
because you suck.
Yeah, but I don't like it.
Imagine like a 10-year-old prodigy at League.
Yeah.
And then
Oh
you're
god.
like,
I've met him. I've met him before.
You met one? Or
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
And they're
God.
little shits.
Was that the guy that beat you in Super Smash Brothers Melee?
Nobody's ever beaten me at that game.
I
Don't worry
did.
about it.
What are you talking?
The
Melee?
kid in the pajamas.
I would take you in Melee. We talked about this.
Probably. Well, that's the end of that topic.
Make love to
Couldn't have ended at a worse time, unfortunately.
you. Oh darn.
Oh man. Right, you ready for my topic?
Yes.
We're all
Wait.
What?
Caveat to us talking about kids not playing video games online. it's more so because it's hard to control content like when you're rating M or anything like that. As soon as it goes online, you know it's rated M.
That's why they say gameplay experience may change.
Yeah.
when you take it online.
And I just don't want to see him on there.
Yeah.
I don't like him.
Fuck them.
I want to play with adults.
Oh no.
Anyway. All right,
You
my topic.
ageist.
I know I am. Terrible.
Yeah.
We all like Star Wars here, right?
Yes.
To some
Fair to
extent.
say.
We're all a
Fair
little
to say.
excited for episode 7.
Episode 7's
We're
coming
gonna hold
out.
hands, watch it,
There's going to be a slew. There's going to be a slew of games, right?
and movies.
And movies, but we're a gaming podcast. Can I talk about video games for one goddamn second? Is that okay, Justin? Yeah, I know a movie's coming out. I'm not an idiot.
Real quick, did you guys play Jedi Power Battles?
Yes, I loved it.
I actually.
It's probably my favorite Star Wars game of
I
all
bought
time.
it.
It's great. So, if I can continue my story,
Good.
we all like Star Wars. Let's say we all get the opportunity to make a Star Wars game.
Okay.
One serious question, and to all of you as well.
Ah.
Are Jedis playable? Go.
Hi,
Go for
cute
it.
puppies.
Yes. Jedi Masters are not. Jedi Knights, Padawans are. Reason why is because there needs to be a hierarchy, but I feel like Jedi Master is too much like. Okay, you being my Dragon Ball brethren. Jedi Knight is like before Cell Saga, right? Like we're talking like.
Are you guys talking Dragon Ball Z right now?
We are.
I asked a Star Wars question because I could relate to it, and you just drag it off
Hi, key
into
buddies.
that. Ugh.
Okay, so they're. My point is they're strong, but they're not overpowered strong, where it's just like redundant.
Mm-hmm.
They're strong enough to where they can be like, oh, I don't know all of these different force abilities, and people can.
And they can still
specialize.
learn things.
Yeah, so like in Bloodborne, it's called metagame, where you level up to 130, or roughly, or any Souls game, you level up to a certain level to where you can make a build, but you can't specialize in everything. So that's why I would say, yeah, Padawans or Jedi Knights, but nothing past that. No Jedi Masters. No like if we're looking at KOTOR, no like crazy super counselor like I'm a Sentinel and the max level of like Sentinel or whatever it is. Keep it like in the realistic range to where there's still a little bit of like variety.
They're not Superman.
Yeah, they're not Superman. They're not flying through the air, but they still have some cool techniques if you put the effort into it.
Yeah.
So I would say that.
I'm kind of on the fence here because when I think Star Wars initially, my very first thought is Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
And I think to myself, man, I want to be a badass Jedi. Like, I want to be able to use the Force and just...
He's a Sith Lord.
Yeah. We know where you would fall.
I gave in to my hate.
You'd kill the young ones.
The younglings.
The
Yeah,
younglings.
There we go.
But so, like, yeah, when I look at Star Wars, the Jedis are obviously like the coolest thing there. Like growing up, I'm like, man, I want to be Luke Skywalker with the green lightsaber, yeah. And then, but the thing that I always missed out on the movies, and which the only thing that I loved from the prequels was the Darth Maul fight scene.
You didn't like
How-
any of the other fight scenes? They
No,
were all
'cause
very
that-
well done.
No,
It
no.
got too
Darth
crazy.
Maul was good, and the 3 was okay. It was way over the top though.
Darth Maul's fight was so impractical. I was sick of it.
I
because
love
he's
it.
flipping around too much. You don't need to flip.
But the game is the show is entertainment. The movie
The
is
show?
the movie.
Are you not entertained?
The movie is about how fun it is and how cool it is. It's not supposed to be like a sword fighting epic. It's supposed to be what's entertaining. Let's make it that way. And
Yeah.
that was awesome.
Probably
The
Revan.
problem I had with the later.
Oh, it doesn't count anymore.
What?
No.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear
Said,
you.
who's your favorite?
Oh.
Go ahead.
I don't know. But so for me, like the fight scenes later on in the prequel, too lightning-y. Like it all boiled down to who can stop the lightning or who can control the lightning. Like
They like Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
it was
Take
just
it to
the
the
Kamehamehas back and forth. Like
Exactly.
"Bruh, no, I can stop this.
And even Akira Toriyama was like, "Hey, that's a little too much. That's a little
Come
too
on,
much power."
man.
I want to be able to see them actually like duke it out, and that's why I like the Darth Maul fight scene because you saw them trading off blows. If you get hit by lightning, you're crippled. Like you're just on the floor like ah.
Not unless you're every Jedi in that movie who got hit by lightning and kept going.
No, let's not forget Mace Windu.
Yeah.
Well,
But yeah, so like for me, like the Jedi in my mind that I would want to see in a video game are the ones that are sword fighting, the ones that are using force push, and that's like it. Like very limited abilities.
Charge her.
Leave.
Mine would have to be the Ewoks.
Really?
I think it was my favorite because they're so cute, cuddly, but they're gonna eat your face.
C-3PO is the best.
Yeah.
He's great.
If we're talking movie continuity, probably Han Solo.
Yeah. Question is, what's your favorite character?
Can I be your Chewie?
Any day, baby.
So Jedi or no?
That's where I'm kind of on the fence because if I'm making an expansive universe, if I'm making like an MMO, I need more abilities than just attacking. If I'm making an action RPG, okay, Jedi, yes. If I'm making a shooting game, Jedis, no. Not even power-up modes. I don't agree with that. It all depends on what genre I'm making.
What genre would you make? I can only make one.
If I can only make one, I'd probably go action RPG. And that would be yes to Jedi then.
So I would go no on the Jedis. Definitely a no. I would probably pick sort of like a gun style game, or a game that's kind of like potentially KOTOR. That was fun, but no Jedi. So everybody has a skill that they bring, and it's all futuristic and
they could be like
spacey.
melee, but they have
Yeah.
the what's it called?
You could have vibroblades. That would be
vibroblades,
stupid.
yeah.
I'd probably not recommend you go that route. It'd be more like a tactics, like maybe Spec Ops or something like that.
XCOM.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you just have to go around the world solving problems without being a Jedi who has mind tricks and can do things with their brain and solve things. I think Jedi are crazy overpowered in any universe they're going to be in. I would always have maybe even the villain would be a Sith.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the villain could be a Sith Lord that at the very end, with all their tools, they have to stop him.
Okay.
Because as a Jedi, at some point, especially the prequels, they really killed it. When you're a Jedi, you're pretty much like God.
Yeah.
And you just run
it's
through.
a Superman complex.
Yeah, you just run through and push everybody aside, and it's like, oh, I guess I got to go in a room with 100 droids in it. I guess I'll just kill them all. It's not,
Yeah.
No, everyone is Han Solo. You know, a game as Han Solo would be freaking amazing. That would be great if you could explore that backstory.
You know, it's funny. Like a lot of people will agree, one of the best Star Wars games was Republic Commando. Had nothing to do with Jedi's.
True.
You fought Grievous.
What about Shadows of the Empire? Shadows of the
didn't play
Empire
too much of
was
that.
Dash Rendar, who was basically Han Solo, and he was
Wait,
that was
Shadows of
awesome.
the Empire. You're talking about?
The N64 game.
Oh, I thought you were talking about freaking what's it called? Like the first Jedi Outcast, but the first one where you play as what's his name, Kyle Katarn.
Yeah.
Because that one's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just a shooter. And the second one, they're like, give him a lightsaber.
So yeah, I would do no Jedi, personally, playable.
Huh.
No.
Or if you were gonna do a Jedi, it would have to be kind of like KOTOR was, or kind of like any game you could make it a pure coming of age Jedi story.
Yeah.
Where he starts off probably not even a Jedi, and maybe halfway through gains some Force power.
You would have liked Star Wars Galaxies then. You probably would have.
I know of it. I MMO.
Regardless, I think that's the one thing that's good about KOTOR is do you remember all the cinematics? Remember the one where it was the Galactic Troopers fighting against the Sith? Do you remember that cutscene specifically, or that cinematic? They're fighting in the jungle.
Yes.
That's such a good, in general, that's such a good cinematic because it's showing them whooping Sith. Like, they're flipping these guys over and stuff. And even the main guy who gets his face, like, straight up destroyed, and the Sith who gets his face destroyed, they're both, like, he's charging him, punching him, and stuff like that. And that's so much better of a representation of, dang it. So much.
Oh,
Don't die, dog.
Producer Eric just got a Charlie horse, it looks like.
He's wounded.
He's wounded. He fell on the ground. He's not doing so well.
It's so much better of a representation of like the relationship between them, and it
Yeah.
shows a much more realistic take on. So what? You have a lightsaber. I charged you. I knock you to the ground. Or I just flipped you over and blasted you.
Yeah.
So that's. I would say if you did something like that, like make it like Max Payne in the sense of its third-person shooter, but have a tactics element to it, and maybe like some contextual takedown moves or something. You
Okay.
can actually, if a Sith like swipes at you, and if you dodge it, you can come back and do something.
Cool.
Something like that. And I'm not pissed because I lost. I'm pissed because they still picked the topic. and I thought they were my friends.
Yeah. You thought wrong.
I kind of established at the beginning of this.
Oh, that's a sad way to end the show.
All right, guys. Thanks for.
All right, that's it for the podcast.
Stay tuned.
Hey, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and share this episode. If you have any questions you'd like us to answer, go ahead and comment below or email us at theshow@theitchnetwork.com. Also, check us out on twitch.tv/thisistheitch and on theitchnetwork.com. You can also check out our friends at doesthisgamesuck.com. And don't forget that we do trivia videos every Tuesday, and we do this podcast every Friday. And that's why we get to say that we do new videos every week!